guys, good morning. It's December 16th, 2022, and I'm Kimberly from Fat Quarter Shop. And today we're on Sewcialites Block 8. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the block and the designer. So the designer of this block is NICOLE of Sew Hooked on Treasures. And this is our last block that we're going to sew in the 9-inch size. So this block right here is basic gray. This block is Camille Ross Kelly, and this block is Fig Tree Quilts. I'm going to show you some other blocks, and just a heads up, I'm not feeling great, so we're going to take some shortcuts today. I've been sick for over a week. This is Grays by Sweetwater, Blue Jean by Christopher Thompson, Emma by Sherry and Chelsea, Isabella by Minnick and Simpson, and The Flower Farm by Bunny Hill. So I want to show you the color placement. So it's, if you just look, this is the easiest one to see. It goes pink, blue, it kind of skips. It's like a ribbon star. So this one is really fun. You can pick the colors for this. You just need 4 colors to create this star, and then you need the points out here. This is a beautiful block, and the designer, she has some PDFs that we sell. So here are some of her PDFs, and she was featured on our live stream earlier this year. She says this about her block: I'm crazy about the woven star block because for me it represents the quilting community, all different kinds of people, styles, and colors coming together. And her block is beautiful. I love it. So we have her patterns in PDF. She was our Stronger Together 2022 designer, and we're gonna just jump right into the block. We're going to just jump right in. And someone's asking about our Saturday hours. We are not open to the public, so there will be no Saturday hours. But like I said, I'm not feeling that great, so we're cheating on this block. And I'm going to reference the block that's the sample block. So this is pretty easy. What you'll do on this one is just cut exactly like the pattern calls for. I'm not making any changes, just cut exactly like you are. And then when you get your E, H, K, and N, which are these, you're going to cut on the diagonal twice. So you're going to cut on the diagonal this way and then this way. And then your F, I, L, and O, you're going to cut on the diagonal once. And the most important part of this block is just to keep your alphabetes in place, because to create this effect, you have to follow the instructions really close. What I'm going to focus on today is I'm going to show you how to make this part, which is just a simple 3-patch. We're going to do the flying geese, and it's important to just pay attention to the direction that it goes. And this one's going to go on the left end. You can either use glue or pen. I'll use a pen today because I can maybe save that. And we're going to stitch directly on that line. And then this unit, to do this one, you first sew these 2 together, right sides together, and press open. So what we're going to do is sew these 2 together first, 1/4-inch seam. Stitch on the line with the open toe foot, and then stitch with a 1/4-inch seam here. And then Jordan's just gonna play music. Save this for my half square triangles. On the fabric J, which is this square right here, I'm going to draw a line. And on this one, I'll have Ashley answer if you can use flying geese paper. Off the top of my head, I don't know. And then here, this is a bias right here, so you just got to be really careful when you're ironing. And I'm going to be pressing open. So my next step is we're going to be making 4 of these. That's super simple. We've covered that before. Just use a 1/4 inch seam. This one we're going to add green to the other side. And this is why it's so important. Just use alphabets, keep everything labeled. Thank you to the Bathola for the super chat. I'm going to stitch with a straight line, and then here we're going to put these two together. This is all bias seam, so it's going to be very tricky, so make sure you pin. Trim a 1/4 inch away and then save this for your half square triangles. And this collection is Dwell by Camille Ross Kelly. So this is super simple, of course. This is just a 3 patch, and you're going to put those stripes on the outside. I might move it around a little bit. on the flying geese, you don't have to trim anything off. You can just trim off the threads if you want to. And I'm going to follow my block here. But it'll be easy if you do this and you just follow the Okay, I don't like how this one goes the wrong direction. So I sewed it the wrong direction. Because see how these go this direction? So I'm going to need to redo this. So I'm going to get fabric and redo that. Now this one should measure 2 3/4. I'm just going to clip off the little dog ears and then see if it's 2 3/4. Hopefully it is. Okay, we need to trim it. So to trim it, 2 3/4 divided by 2 is 1.375. So you take the 1 3/8 on your ruler and put it right here. Draw a line. Measure the same thing across, 2 3/4, and see if it matches. One, two, three, and it does. And then you're going to cut. Okay, and then I'm going to just follow my, so I'm kind of cheating today. So I'm going to redo that one. So that is 1 5/8 inch square. Just going to cut a little piece off. One, two, three, four, 5. 1 2 3 4 5. 1 2. And then I need another 1 5/8 inch square. And then I'll need a rectangle. And the rectangle I need is 1 5/8 by 2 3/4. Trying to make sure I have the right side up. And then I want this stripe to go this way so that all my stripes are going one way. So I'm going to redo this one. But what I'm going to do here is make sure these are going the right direction, and I'm comparing it to this. And Dwell does match Nantucket Summer. And you can starch fabric from the Sew Sampler box. So what I'm going to do here is these, I'm going to make a 4 patch here first. I'm going to pin matching everything. Because to be able to sew the whole block together, this center part has to be done. So we're going to make this 4-patch and at the same time fix this one so that it's all the same direction. And trimming it down gives us this perfect little thing. So we're going to stitch with a 1/4 inch seam and fix this and this. So anytime you're working with stripes, obviously you should pay attention to the direction that it goes, because I didn't. I'm going to leave these two chained together, press to one side, and then press open, and then that makes it easy for me to not get them out of order. So that looks really good. So here and here, these 2 points need to match. So that point needs to match there. So I'm going to put that right sides together. I'm going to do poke a pin. So I'm going to poke one point to the next point. And go across that seam. Okay, so hopefully I have it right. I love this block. This block would make such a beautiful quilt. And again, like I said, I'm cheating. To get that together. Denise, does it look right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so just make sure your squares are on the outside and it forms, you can kind of follow your fabrics. But what I'm going to do is put these together and I'm going to sew down one side, a 1/4 inch seam, this one's obviously easy and this one's easy. On this one, you're going to want the, you want this point and this point to match. So I'll do the same poke a pin where I poke the pin through the point, through the next point, and this block is just all about staying organized with your fabrics. If you don't have alphabets, just use Post-it notes or paper so that you keep all the fabrics in the right spot. Then I'm going to press to one side and then press open. And then we'll almost be ready for this block to be done. This block takes about 4 hours, maybe 2 hours. It takes quite a bit because there's so many pieces. And like I said, I'm not feeling that great, so I didn't think I could do the whole tutorial and the end of the live stream without my voice running out. So Teresa was so nice to put the rest of this together. And so that point matched. And you'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll do the last seam down this side, and then we'll do the final 2 seams. But yeah, this block is just all about cutting accurately and staying organized. It's probably the hardest 9-inch block, or the longest. Yay, my point matched. Okay, and then I noticed there's a little thread right here coming through. Okay, good. It went away. This is probably one of my favorite blocks from the whole series. And the reason I like it is you can really use a lot of different prints in the block. So here I am going to go ahead and pin both sides down. And I'll keep it chained until it's time to add it. That way I don't get anything out of order. And someone asked what pins I'm using. I'm using Little House pins. I would say the only disadvantage, this block is not very forgiving, meaning that if you get things out of sync, it'll be really obvious and really hard to get your points to match if your piecing is off or your cutting is off. But I think it's great in this free series that there's a combination of easy and hard, because that's kind of how life is. Sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not. Okay, so hopefully I won't have to use the seam ripper today. And this will be the test. So before I press open, I'm just going to make sure everything looks like I've got everything right, all my points match. In case, you know, I need to change anything or rip anything out, it's easy to do before I press open. And then you guys can let me know, do you like the simplified tutorials like this? Or do you like the long, the full process? Maybe we can take a poll and see what you guys like better. And then from here, just going to cut around the edge. Thank you to Sally's Rock for the super chat. Thank you to Helen Santana, Quilting in Spanish. Hope you feel better, Kimberly. Yeah, me too, thanks. I've been sick for a long time, getting annoyed with it. Thank you to Linnea Reese for the super chat. And then thank you to Robin G for the super chat. Okay, so there is the block. Now I'm going to go through a little bit in here and talk a little bit. Let me take a drink first. So in here, my tips would be to cover up the ones that you're not cutting, so that way you don't cut the wrong thing, and take it step by step, especially if you're a beginner. Do this one, stop. This one, stop. This one, stop, instead of trying to do all of them at one time. And then the same thing here. Do each of these individually so you don't get them mixed up. Do your 4 patch like I showed you. Use your pins, and hopefully it will come out. So thank you so much to SHEREECE Spain for that block. I'm going to answer some questions before we take intermission. And after the intermission, we are going to have some giveaways, so you'll want to stay tuned. Oh, Becky says she likes simplified. Okay, good. Gam K8 says, can I do Sewcialites too with a fat 8th bundle? Yes, you might need some more pieces, but those are, yeah, you can just start with scraps if you want. Are there more stash and store sizes and shapes coming our way? I don't think we have any planned right now. And the darkest fabric on here, this is definitely navy. It's not black. And then thank you to Dolores Brady for the super sticker. And so when we come back, we're going to have some giveaways, and then we're going to talk a little about some new sew-alongs that I've added and just some general end-of-year things. So I'll be right back. year, we're going to be doing a giveaway every 5 minutes in this live stream. And what you'll win is a Keep It Quilty project bag, Keep It Quilty label set, a 2023 Lori Holt planner, and these are some of my scraps from the year. So our program Nightbot is going to pick it. So what you'll want to do is comment as many times as possible. Obviously keep it relevant to our topic, and our program will pick winners. And we will also have pick winners after. So this is our last live stream of the year. Next week we won't have a live stream or a Sewcialites pattern release because it's Christmas. The week after, we will have a pre-recorded live stream on December 30th because I have family coming in town. And then, so these are going to be the giveaways. But I wanted to tell you about our little guest today in the studio. So if you look behind me, there is Norm, Nanette, and Baby Bob. So, these are special guests from Pat Sloan. So this is the Norm and Nanette pattern by Elizabeth Hartman. Norm left Pat Sloan's home many months ago, and since then he's been on a world tour visiting lots of quilters. So his Gnome family has been traveling around the world, and now they're visiting us in Texas. They're at Fat Quarter Shop, and they'll have some adventures that we're going to share with you on social media. You can visit Pat Sloan's YouTube channel or Facebook group to follow along with Norm and Nanette's adventures. And then her YouTube is Pat Sloan. Her Facebook group is Quilt with Pat Sloan. I will be showing after the new year. When I come back, I'm going to be doing 6.5-inch blocks. And after that, I will be doing 3.5-inch blocks. So I will be showing those. Here are some flash sale items from today. So if you are wanting a Christmas stitched layer cake, there is one in the Christmas time mystery sew along kit. So this is a flash sale. These will probably sell out today. This is a cute ornament you can make as a gift. We have a cross stitch pattern. And then the Steady Betty bridge, this is where you can put this on the plate of your machine to see the different lines. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to talk about is temperature quilts. So at the end of November, Moda released a blog post about temperature quilts. So I thought, you know, that looks fun. I'll join along. So you'll go to the Moda Fabrics blog and print this out. And what you do is you pick 20 different swatches, and then you do your temperature range. So we are in Austin. Dallas is where Moda is. So we use the same temperature range that they had on their blog. We just copy that. And then what you'll do is you'll put your high temperature and your low temperature throughout the year on all the months. And you print this thing out for free at Moda. When I saw that, I noticed they had picked 20 different Bella solids. So we put together a fat quarter bundle of Bella solids if you want to sew along the temperature quilt. There are 3 or 4 ideas on Moda's blog that you could follow and do that. You can also put your temperature range here to make it super easy. So I saw that blog post and I thought, you know, I love that. I want to do a temperature quilt, but I don't want to do solids because I don't like solid quilts. So I don't want to do a solid temperature quilt. So what I did, I still had a One Fine Day fat quarter bundle left over from other projects. So I pulled some reds for the hot temperatures, some blues for the cold temperatures, and then filled in between. And then we just put a little swatch. And I came up with a quick design. Sarah helped me with it, so I'm going to show it to you. So this would be, this is going to be a free pattern. Hold on a second, I'm going to take a drink. This is going to be a free pattern that will come out next year. But if you want to start, this is what I'm going to be sewing. This is how it would look in the Bella Solid bundle I just showed you. The next one is the one that I'm doing, and that is based on 2021 temperatures. So our blocks are going to look like this. So what I'm recommending, you would need 9 of these 1 1/4 by 2 1/2 inch flying geese. You could do any sorry. You could do any size flying geese. You just have to figure out the finishing. So Jordan's going to show you the picture one more time in the colorway that I'm doing. And you can see there's 2 flying geese touching. And so this is your high and this is your low for the day. And you're going to do this every day in the whole year. But this one, I wanted to let you know, it only uses 362 blocks on the front. So I'm going to use the last 3 days. I'm going to do those blocks on the back. And I'm going to go into detail with this in a live stream in January where y'all can actually hear me and I can talk in more detail. Right now, I'm just not feeling great enough to do that. But just suffice it to say, find 20 fabrics that you like. Do a color range. Jaybird Quilts also put out a temperature quilt. But hers, it's really pretty. And I definitely encourage you to do that one also. It's $24 for the pattern, I think. Sorry. So this is what I'm doing. And I went ahead and made some flying geese of each color just so I had a place to start. And I'm going to use 9 of these. I'm going to use this as my binding. This is my backing. And for background, we calculated 6.5 yards. So if you want to join with us, why don't you just pick 20 fabrics that you like, put them on here, and we'll talk more about the pattern and everything else in 2023 when I feel better. The Riley Blake Block Challenge. So Riley Blake, about a month ago, put information out for their 2023 block challenge. You can find all the information on their blog. I'm not going to read it all because I'm not feeling well. But you can find all this information on their site. Just to let you know, my plans are I'm going to use the Calico Fat Quarter Bundle. I'm going to make all the blocks. I'm going to sew along with Lori Holt, and we're going to make a different layout. And her layout is going to be kind of like a table runner or a bed runner. And this is what I'll be sewing with. I will give all the details in January when I'm feeling better. But I just wanted you to know this came in stock. This is what I'm going to be sewing mine in. And I will give you all the details in 2023. Scrappiness is Happiness. We're kind of rolling along in our sew along, and this is from Lori Holt's book, Scrappiness is Happiness. This is this week's block. I just pressed to one side because it's surrounded by sashing, so there's not going to be any points right next to each other. Lori has a video called Sew Your Stash Series number 6 if you want a tutorial on this block. Next week's block is the Tall Pumpkin Patch block. And what I did here, if you want to make yours exactly 12.5, you can just piece this 1/2 inch longer and then chop it off. And then the block the week after is the Santa hat block. And here I would just use seam glue for corner squares. You can save your leftovers for half square triangles. And then, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Color of the year for Kona. It's the first time I've ever liked the color. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's pink. I love it. I'm definitely gonna make something with it. So, color of the year, as a store, you buy it like in April, May with sight unseen. The rumor is that 2 people in the entire company of Robert Kaufman know what the color is. But this year it is magenta or something like that. And we're going to show you some patterns that are available as free PDFs on our site. And right now we have all of this in yardage and then these 3 pre-cuts. So this is a free pattern on Robert Kaufman's website called Arrowhead. Intertwined by Elise Leah for Robert Kaufman, and so that uses some additional Konas. And then Jocelyn mocked up a few of our free patterns. And so this is Hunter Star Quilt Block. It's a free pattern from our Classic and Vintage series. Ocean Waves is also another Classic and Vintage quilt block. She put together this, which is really cute, and so she mixed 2 blocks from our Sewcialites 1 program. And then if you just wanted to do simple courthouse steps, that looks very Southwestern. Or if you wanted to do snail trail blocks. So that's just some ideas of what you can do with the Kona. I just love it. And you know, it actually... The winner for the last 5 minutes, Cheryl Rose, and then the next one is Karen Parker. So if you have won, email Ashley at fatquartershop.com with your mailing address. So last year's solid Fat Quarter Club, we had a cutting guide that went along with Dancing Stars and the Starbrush 30-degree ruler. And I'm going to show you the quilt. So Carrie in content team, she signed up for the club. She got the club. She made 5 blocks a month. And here's her quilt. And Gina Toe quilted this for her. And we can put a photo of it on social media so you can see like the whole color range of it. It's really pretty and it's really big. So that is the solid club from 2022. For 2023, Carrie put together a different theme. And I'm going to show you January's club. So if you haven't signed up yet for our solid club and you like solids, this would be your January bundle. And of course, if you are already in the solid club, use those fabrics for your temperature quilt. And you can just Google temperature quilt and do any temperature quilt you want. You don't have to do the one I'm doing. And so what she's doing is she's taking the bundle each month. This is called Blue Jay for January. She's using the Sandpiper pattern by Itso Emma. We have a free layout cutting guide for the finishing, and you make 1 block a month. And then like it tells you which month is which. This fabric right here is E064-1143. I ordered it and it should be in stock in January. So this will be fun that we can sew along, and if you want to sew along with Carrie, I'll be showing it to you once a month. We had a request for blank foundation paper. So Jocelyn had this made, and it's big enough to do 12.5-inch blocks. So the purpose of this is if you want to draw a block, for example, this simple Christmas tree block, and you want to make something fun, or you want to make a block like this, you draw your block and then you sew on it. So Teresa made these cute blocks. I'm going to show it to you. She used our Enchanted Emma Fat Quarter Bundle. And this is just plain, you know, you figure it out. You have to be creative to do this now. You have to think outside the box. And then this one's 3-dimensional. She just added some prairie points. So now we have that. And if you want a tutorial, we can add that to live stream for 2023. Obviously, I can't do it today because I'm doing good just to be here. Okay. Back from the quilter is my Moda Bake Shop Charmed quilt. So this was a sew along. I don't think any of you guys sewed along with me, but I had fun sewing along all by myself. I just love that quilt. I just wanted to make it. I made it in one weekend. Really cute. And Teresa put a sleeve on here. And we're going to do a poll. And if you if you want to know how to add a sleeve, we could do a blog post and tell you how to do it. I was planning on telling you how she did it, but my voice is kind of going, so I'm not going to be able to do that today. And here's my little label. And thank you to Maggie Honeyman who quilted it. Okay, and then my Letters to Santa is all done. I love it. So excited to have it done. So we're just going to show it on the table. We'll put some really pretty pictures on social media. But I'm going to definitely take this one home today. This would make a great Christmas gift. Except that I don't want to give it away. And Maggie Honeyman quilted it, and I wanted to show you the back. We used a wide ivory Shannon, and Teresa did the binding for me. And so this is from the mini alphabet pattern by Lisa Bonjean. You would follow the Moda Fabrics blog for all the information on how to put that together. So sorry. I also got back my Oh Happy Day quilt. This was a sew along with Cora Yoder using her Martingale book. And here's my quilt. I love it. It's so pretty. It's going to go in my kitchen. And I used the 60-inch wide, even though it didn't need to be 60 inches wide. But I did the layout. I copied exactly what Cora Yoder did. And let me see my label. I think I put my label. Oh yeah, right here. Put it in the center. And this is the one that I made miniature. So, super excited that that's back. And then Home for the Holidays. Oh my gosh, this one's also back. So this is the one where Sherry and Chelsea had a sew along. I added 3.5-inch squares and 3.5 by 16.5-inch sashings. Maggie Honeyman also quilted this one, and then this is my backing. And for this one, I put my label right here. And then I'm going to show you some new fabrics we have, and then I think that'll be it for the year. This is Calico from Lori Holt. I already showed you the fat quarter bundle. The half yard bundle is now in stock. This is Posy by Tanya Whelan. It just came in this morning. I'm going to take this home. Tanya Whelan used to design fabric for Free Spirit. I love this. I'm going to do something with this. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do some type of sew along with this. And her last collection sold out in 2 days, so just a fair warning on that. That's why I'm taking mine home. Lori's zippers, so her zipper ones are in stock. Now she has happy zippers in a second set of colorways. That's now online. Her Calico Garden, so simple shapes are in stock. The kits for this will be shipping in 2023 because we're waiting on that pattern to be finalized. She also came out with a new wrist pin cushion, so you could put this on your wrist and put your pins in it. And she has lots of new design boards. And we have a new tote bag from Ruby Star. Okay, so I think that's going to wrap it up today. We are going to have giveaways after the video. So after the video, comment below how many quilts you completed for 2022. You have until next Tuesday, and we're going to pick 3 winners. And congratulations to everyone who won the giveaway during this. And I'm so sorry that this is an abbreviated live stream, but this is all I could do today. I hope all of you have a Merry Christmas, Merry Festivus, whatever you celebrate, and I will see you guys in 2023.